Hello and welcome back to another episode on the Viewers Club. My name is Tess and I'm here with...
I'm with Megan!
Megan! And this is such a special episode because it is just us girls talking it up.
We killed the boys.
Yeah. Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
They are no longer here. But yeah, so today we are actually going to be discussing a classic Christmas film, the 1990 movie Home Alone. And just for like a brief synopsis, I'm going to read this
if
one
you
here.
haven't seen it, like, what is your childhood if you haven't seen this movie?
Just rewind your life and watch the movie. Because, yeah. Okay.
Create as many paradoxes as you have to watch this movie because,
right.
Oh boy.
Just travel back in time, watch the movie, travel back to now, and yeah, watch this episode. Okay, so brief synopsis is, if you haven't seen it, an 8-year-old troublemaker must protect his house from a pair of burglars when he is accidentally left home alone by his family during Christmas vacation. There's my synopsis.
That's literally it. It's a simple premise. Such a good movie.
So Megan, what are your feelings towards this movie?
Oh man, well first of all, happy anniversary to Home Alone. What is it? They're like 30th? Is it their 30th? So. It's like their 30th anniversary. And boy, oh boy, howdy, do I have some good memories with this movie.
Yeah.
I can't remember a year during the holidays where we didn't watch Home Alone. You know?
Yeah.
It's just like a staple of my childhood, honestly. So I watch it every year during November and December because, you know, Thanksgiving isn't a thing anymore. So straight to Christmas. November 1st,
true,
Christmas
though.
time.
It's just like, okay, Halloween's done, Christmas.
Well, even then, I have a sneaking suspicion that they're going to start canceling Halloween and I will murder somebody.
No.
I will kill somebody if they do it. It's just...
Yeah.
But I honestly think I'm going to have a biased opinion on it because I've just grown up seeing it every year of my 23-year existence. So, yeah.
So, in my experience, I actually don't watch it every single year, like around Christmas time.
Blasphemy.
But it is definitely one of those like nostalgic videos that I just love. Yeah, it just has like that warm, cozy feeling. Like you just gotta snuggle up on the couch with some hot cocoa or something, and just like watch it at night.
Time for Home Alone.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh man.
Tell me, Megan, who are some of your favorite characters?
Oh, geez, gosh, Willie, that's that's hard because I think that the actors that they picked are just too good.
They're phenomenal.
Obviously, I love the trio, you know, Kevin, Marv. I love them. They're such great, like, physical actors, you know, where they use their body in such, like, great comedic actors. And they make me laugh even today, even though I know what's going to happen. It's just their exaggerated facial expressions, you know, it's so good. I mean, I was watching it the other day to prepare for this, and, like, the one that always gets me that I love so much is, when, I believe it's Marv, right? Marv goes into the basement and he's walking up those steps that are covered in tar. And then his facial expression when he steps on the nail is way too good. I mean...
Oh my gosh.
Just him in general. I think he's one of my favorite characters because he's such like a buffoon.
Yeah.
He's just like, you're just like, how can you be this stupid? Like... But I think that the main trio is definitely my favorite set of characters. It's obvious, but they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Same for me. Okay, although I love Kevin, and but he was really just this phenomenal child actor, and
He is, yeah.
He did a really great job, especially like looking back at it now, and like knowing a little bit more of like how it is working, you know, behind the scenes and with child actors and stuff. Like he was really good. But yeah, I think Marv was like my favorite character.
I think
just
he's
so
such
funny.
an obvious choice.
Yeah.
He's just too good. Oh my gosh.
Him and Harry were they're an iconic duo.
Yes, I need more of them.
Yeah.
Have you seen the commercials that they did?
No.
It's like last year. I need to find them. They did some Home Alone commercials last year, and it was so great. Wait, I need to show you.
Okay.
Let me just pull those up.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Right? It's so cute. It's just
it really is.
They had a few of those released. And I'm so glad that he can joke along with his most iconic role, you know? Even though he was like 8 when they made it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's so nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Thanks for sharing that.
Of course.
I'm trying to like...
You need to check out all of them. I think there are a few more out there somewhere, but...
Okay.
Yeah, that one's just the Google one. It's so good.
I'm going to find them all. Just like watching that, the part where... Oh, what was it? He was like eating a bunch of junk food and like watching that old shoot 'em up film.
Angels and something, right? I forget what it was called.
Something like that.
I forget the specific name of it, but it's like Angels something.
That scene was so good. So good.
Oh, man.
I remember thinking when I was little, like, if anyone had come to the door when my parents weren't home, like, I would definitely go for that.
Right. Keep the change, filthy animal.
Were there any, like, other scenes that you really liked?
Gosh, there were so many
right?
Good ones. The entire time that they're trying to break into the house is probably my favorite. The iron, the nail, the flamethrower, the door handle. It's just, it was really weird because I know some people were like, oh, they just like, this is obviously all set up because he only set up this many traps. And I'm like thinking, you guys are idiots, right? Because these are the obvious places the burglars are going to try and break into.
Right.
It seemed natural to do that sort of, like, to, not natural to, like, make them quote, fun house, like Harry
totally
calls
natural.
it. But, like, it's only natural to make a murder house, but, like... but it's natural to, like, have, like, defenses over in those areas, you know? So it was, like, that was always entertaining. My other favorite thing, and I just noticed it a few years ago, because I never paid attention too much to it, but when Kevin is, like, gliding, you know, when Kevin's, like, gliding across to his treehouse...
Yes.
Did you see the stunt double who played it?
I lost it.
Now.
I was like,
every year, because I can't believe I never noticed it before.
Yeah,
it's probably
I didn't
because
either.
I'm like, oh, this is so cool. But then it's like, wow, he's literally gliding across. And then you look at it and it's like, not even I don't know. It's like a full-grown adult in a wig, in a bad wig. Trying to go across. It's so funny.
Really funny.
Like, I know that they're trying to keep him safe because he's an 8-year-old, but at the same time, I'm like, there must have been better ways, you know, where you could have used him. You know what I mean? But I'm like, I don't care because it's so funny to watch.
It was really funny to watch. I was like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
That doesn't look right. But yeah, I never noticed that either. Also the scene where he's like putting on the aftershave in the mirror, like that's super iconic.
Right. Classic.
But I think one of my absolute favorite scenes was when he was going grocery shopping and the cashier
Yes.
kept asking him, like drilling him with questions.
Like this interrogation.
Yeah. He was like,
I'm an
I'm
only
not
child.
talking to strangers. Yeah.
So smart. It's so good.
Yeah, it really
like,
is.
And what I find funny is, like, it's really weird because I feel like you can only get away with doing that back in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, forgetting your kid at home. Because it's like, nowadays, it's too obvious that you missed someone. I mean, like, it still, like, stretches the belief that these parents forgot their 8-year-old, you know, considering that no one seems to forget that he's there when he's causing trouble. So it's like, don't know. But it's like, they set it up so well. Having the extended family with a bunch of kids, the perfect timing of the nosy neighbor kid that's the same age as Kevin showing up. And then them being late for it. It's like that whole, like, it was so brilliantly orchestrated by the writers of this. Like, I don't even know how they came up with the idea of that, you know what I mean? But it's just, gosh, that was great.
It definitely had, like, that real, like, family stress mode, you know, feeling.
It's like, it reminds me of family during the holidays.
Yes. Yeah, especially going on trips and everyone's running around.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh my god. It was
so good.
It was really good. Yeah. And it was really cool seeing, like, even though the other siblings didn't really have a big part, like, they still had a very well-rounded character. And also the house.
Buzz especially.
Oh my god. Buzz is a
Buzz was a trick, man.
I hated his tarantula.
I know,
so
I was
much.
gonna bring that up. Like, what kind of family in the suburbs allows their child to get a tarantula?
It's so cool.
Like, this family has to be okay with a lot to have a tarantula as a pet. I'm just like, wait a minute. And to my possible future children, I'm not letting you get a tarantula as a pet. It's not happening. Never, ever going to happen.
And then also the subplot that they had with the neighbor, the old guy. What was
that
his
was
name?
So sweet.
Yes. It was kind of like a kind of had like a bit of a horror mystery effect to it.
Yeah.
And then it turned into something like super heartfelt.
Marley, Old Man Marley.
Yes, Old Man Marley.
Old Man Marley. I loved his story. It had such a great little rounded conclusion. You know, it has like a conclusion that is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that, like the whole like being with family, even if you're like a Scrooge or something, it's like that's a Christmas movie right there. Check out our episode of controversial Christmas movies to see us break down what is and is not a Christmas movie.
Yes.
But yeah, I really liked that story. I also really loved the mom.
Yes.
Was a great character. I'm not gonna throw much props at the dad. The dad was kind of like nonchalant about the whole thing.
True.
If we're being honest. Yeah. But the mom was like such a great story to follow. You know? Yeah. Because as like when I was watching it as kids, I'm like, the mom obviously doesn't like her son, you know? But as an adult who understands human emotions now, you're like, no, she does love her son. She was just really frustrated with him at that time. She would never have actually intentionally forgotten him, you know? So it's like, it was so fun to see her go to the ends of the earth to get to her kid. Like, how many flights was she on? She was on so many flights.
I don't know. Like, can you imagine being in the middle of a flight and you're like, oh, I forgot my kid.
My 8-year-old son.
I just left him home alone in Chicago over Christmas.
Whoops.
Wow.
I can't imagine. Uncle Frank has the best line during that scene. He's like, if it makes you feel any better, I forgot my reading glasses. And I'm just like, Uncle Frank, you're the worst.
No, that doesn't make me feel better. Yeah. Also, goodness me. The house was so beautiful. And, like,
oh my
whoever was in charge of, like, the setting
Finding that
and
house,
design.
like, listen.
Yes. It was so pretty. Like, each
Mm-hmm.
room was so
Gosh,
beautiful.
so good.
So good.
I want a house like that. Too bad it costs like $3 million in
It's a
California.
huge house. Yeah, that was a
$3 million is probably
ginormous
putting it
house.
on the lighter end, but like, you know what I mean.
Yes.
It's so well set up. I can only imagine. It's like, did they set up the scenario first? Like, wrote out the scenario of the burglars going through the house and then try and find the house that matched it the best? Or did they find the house and then map out
Right?
the scenarios? I'm just like, oh man, that's... It also says something that they think that an 8-year-old would come up with this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty...
Yeah. Oh, okay.
How are Marv and Harry not dead?
Right? Okay, I want to get into that because there were so many stunts in this film and they were all done so well. Like, oh my gosh, just watching it still gives me pain. But
right, props to the stunt people who...
props to you.
Oh man.
Especially like when I think it was Harv was coming in the window over by the Christmas tree. He literally like stomps his feet on the ornament.
Glass.
Like,
and it's not even like they're not even like hiding it.
Yeah.
They're not even like hiding it. He's literally stomping on glass. I wonder if it's like that fake glass. You know what I mean?
It has to be.
It has to be. If it's not, then oh my god, your 4 feet.
Oh my
but
god.
even if it is like the fake glass, that's still got to be like pretty painful.
Really painful.
But like, oh my god, when they brought in the element of like his feet getting hurt, I was like, no, please stop. No, I hate it.
I loved the part again when Harv was going down the steps outside. I think down to the basement.
Oh, and he's slipping and sliding.
And his feet were like, and they just like went up against the wall. That was so funny.
Oh my goodness, that whole the whole bit with the ice was so great.
Yeah.
My other favorite ones are like the cars in the hallway.
Yes.
The toy cars, and they
Wheels.
slip up.
Oh my
That's like
God.
that's such the cliche of like slipping on cars. And then of course the paint cans.
Yeah.
The paint cans are iconic.
My gold
It's
tooth.
Don't worry, I'll get him.
Oh my gosh.
My tooth. Where's my tooth? My gold tooth. It's just... Oh, man.
Remember when he hit him with the crowbar because the spider... Oh my god.
The spider.
Stupid spider.
Mm.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Listen, that's why we can't have a tarantula as a pet.
No.
Because the idea of it even getting out just for a minute is just what makes my skin crawl. But yeah, I'd have the same reaction as Marv did when he first saw the spider. He had the spider on his face. Like, how much would... You couldn't pay me enough. You cannot pay me enough to have a living tarantula put onto my face.
Yeah, let alone having to, like, open your mouth and scream. No way.
Oh my god.
No way.
No, you couldn't pay me enough. God, no.
I'd have a stunt double for that
one. That's a lot. I literally, like, just thinking about it on my face makes me want to, like, vomit. It's just,
I mean, I might be open to doing it if I didn't have to open my mouth, you know? Or, like, talk or anything.
Like an internal scream, like your mouth is closed, and you're like...
Right, yeah. I would, no. My other most favorite stunt was when Marv, right? Marv, yes. Was walking through the house, and then he walked into the saran wrap with, like, all the glue stuff on it. And then,
oh, no, that was Harry.
Oh, that was Harry. I'm sorry. Harry. And then all the feathers, like, blew on him.
The sound that they had to go with it was so great.
I love it so much. Especially
that
for
is a
his
prank
character.
I could see a kid doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's so good.
I didn't like the torching of the head. That one looked
That
really
was
painful.
a lot. That's where I'm like, he'd be dead, wouldn't he? Like, he's probably dead, right?
Yeah.
It gives you good belly laughs, especially if you watch it with like your family or with friends or something.
Right.
Somebody who finds it funny. It's
Mhm.
just, it's so great to watch with people.
It's like the Three Stooges almost. Like that slapstick.
Yeah, it really is, isn't
comedy.
it? It's that slapstick vaudevillian comedy.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's too good.
It's too good. Stop making more. That's the only problem I have with it.
What?
Is like,
they
kept making sequels. Yeah. I was okay with Lost in New York. It's not my all-time favorite, but it does have Tim Curry in it, which is epic.
Mm-hmm.
I think the original is by far my favorite. I do like the second one, Lost in New York. I think that one's fun. Sticky fingers. You had your underwear dry cleaned. Or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then the callbacks in it were great to the original one, especially like when they were doing the paint one again. Harry was like, Marv, you idiot, we're not going to go up there. Remember last time we went up there? There were paint cans. And then he throws a giant metal bar over the side. And then to up the ante, he cuts the bar off and it falls on them again. It's just... oof. It's... But like any other movie after that, I can't really get behind. Yeah. I've seen the third one. I've seen that one.
I haven't seen that one.
I didn't enjoy it.
Is it with his son or?
No, it's a completely different kid, I think.
Oh, okay. So it's like not related?
Yeah, it's not related, yet they're trying to make the same thing. If it's the third one, the basic plot line was the mom is not even out of town. Like, she's not even out of town. Neither is, like, the sister or whatever. And I think Scarlett Johansson was in it, and she played the sister. But anyway, they weren't even out of town. They were, like, right there. And then the little boy, who's, like, the new Kevin or something, is, like, sick, and he has to stay home. Mm-hmm. But then somebody's trying to burgle his house. I don't know.
That's terrifying.
It is terrifying, but at the same time, it doesn't have the same feeling that the original had. It felt like they were really trying to copy it without copying it.
Right.
You know? It was just... I like the first and the second one. I think it's just because they're the originals and the classics. Yeah. They're my favorite. I don't even know how many Home Alone movies there are. I need to check that. Okay, so I have... It was Home Alone 3. So there's Home Alone, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Home Alone 3, which came out in 97, Home Alone 4?
What? There's so many. One?
Home Alone 4 is Taking Back the House, which I don't know what that one's about. Okay. And then, oh my god, they made one in 2012.
What?
Yeah, it's Home Alone, The Holiday Heist. And I'm just like, what? Also, besides Home Alone 2 and 3, the posters are all identical with the screaming face. Yeah. And I'm like, stop it. Stop it. Just stop.
Yeah, the first one is definitely the best, in my opinion. And also, the way that they, like, filmed it, and it had, like, that kind of, like, dreamy filter to it. Yeah. I think that made a really big difference. Because if it was filmed, like, really sharp...
If we filmed it today in 4K, it wouldn't have the same effect. Right. Yeah. It'd be like, oh, this is a lot. Like, yeah. I think that this movie could only be made in the 90s. Mm-hmm. You know? I feel like it could only get away with being made in the 90s. I think anything after that... like the 2002 Home Alone 4 and the Home Alone whatever from 2012 just can't have that same feeling because people are so like protective of their children nowadays, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It just sums up to bad parenting, but because it was filmed in the 90s and because, you know, they didn't have as strict getting onto planes as they did nowadays. It's like... Right.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, it's the only way that it could happen, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was another thing, like, seeing how they just boarded the plane. It was like, what? Wow, what a different world.
I don't remember ever getting to do this.
Yeah.
Because I never did.
Yeah, no.
It's just like just running through the airport. Like, how does security even work? Like, people can walk with you to your flight, and you're just like, this is the normal thing? What? Like,
and also
different
like
world,
the costumes
different world.
were so 90s, and I love it.
They're so good though. They look so cozy.
They
don't
do. It's just such a cozy aesthetic.
I loved Kate's like jacket, whatever that jacket was that she was wearing. I was like, oh, I love that jacket.
Like, I want that.
And Kevin's chunky like sweaters and stuff. I was like, why don't we have these anymore? Like, what?
It needs to
why
come
don't
back.
we do this anymore?
Especially being in California.
Right. I want a chunky sweater in California. Duh.
Chunky sweaters and big jackets. Was there anything else you wanted to add about this other than telling people to watch it if they haven't? Because
like how like if you haven't watched it, you were deprived as a child.
Sorry to break that to you.
Sorry to bring it to you. You've had a rotten childhood if you've never seen. Shouldn't say that, but
me who hasn't seen most movies but saw this one.
Right. Somehow you've seen this one but nothing else. I'm just like, well, at least they did one thing right. Yeah. Sorry we're doing Christmas in November.
I'm not.
I'm kind of not sorry to those people who are going to get angry, but this is the day. This is the anniversary week of Home Alone, 30 years. God, how is it? I feel so old.
Me too.
30 years. It's only 7 years older than I am. And I'm just like,
wow.
Wow.
We're old.
We're old.
What is this?
Definitely go watch it. It's a good laugh, honestly. If you like physical comedy, which I think for the majority of people they do, it's a really enjoyable movie.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Also, the music was so
oh my goodness,
beautiful.
yes.
And
you can never use that music anywhere else, like ever.
No.
Like it's one of those
I
think it's so I feel like it's so underrated because it's a Christmas movie, you know what I mean? Because I mean like music from like Star Wars or Indiana Jones is like praised as being some of the greatest music ever, and it is, but like we need to talk more about this Home Alone soundtrack because goodness me.
Let's do it.
It is.
Yeah.
Whenever I hear it, I'm just like, oh yeah, that's Home Alone. That's nothing else.
Yeah.
It's just Home Alone.
Yeah, it's so magical, I think is the word.
It's so magical.
Yeah. Whenever I hear that that music, I was gonna try and hum it, but I'm gonna refrain from that. But because I won't do it
we're
justice.
not gonna ruin it. It's like
so good. It's so good, and it just reminds me of Home Alone and Christmas time, and it's so nice. Yeah. Well, I don't have anything else to add.
I don't either.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's so good.
It really is. No, I have nothing else to add. It's a family classic. It's something I watch every single year. I'm going to be watching it again the closer we get to Christmas because I just love it.
Yeah. I think I'm going to start making it a traditional movie in our household. Just like...
Well, when you and I start living together, it's definitely going to be a traditional.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening to this episode. Again, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Go time travel back to when you were a child and watch it, and then come back and listen to this episode.
Yeah.
You know.
What are your guys' favorite moments?
Yes.
From
comment your favorite moment, scene, stunt, whatever it is.
Character.
We want to know.
Things. Favorite version of Home Alone, because apparently there's like 5.
Yeah.
So
if it's not the original, we're gonna have to talk. But
we're gonna have a talk. Explain to me why the original isn't your favorite. Defend your argument. I must know.
I would argue on someone about that. Yeah, but anyways, thanks for joining. This has been so much fun. Yeah, my name is Tess.
I'm Megan.
And have a good.
Have a good, everybody. Happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays.
The boys will be back eventually. We don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll let them back.
Maybe we'll let them come back. Maybe.
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.